Legislation will come into effect today, marking the beginning of the new financial year. The Australian Energy Regulator has announced it will raise the default market offer cap, increasing the maximum retailers can charge households and businesses in New South Wales, Queensland and South Australia. The minimum wage will also increase by 5.2%, rising by $40 a week. Superannuation guarantees will increase from 10 to 10.5%. And employees will now receive super no matter how much they are paid instead of the previous $450 a week minimum. Centrelink will increase its family tax benefit by between $116 and $255, depending on family circumstances and the age of their children. And more than 10 million Australians will be eligible for a $420 cost of living tax offset. Combined with a low and middle income tax offset, single income households are eligible for up to $1,500 as a return and $3,000 for dual income households. It's the 1st of July. That means it's tax time. According to the ATO, Australians receive on average $2,900 in their tax returns last year. That sum likely to be even higher this year, with millions of low and middle income earners expected to receive a one-off offset to address cost of living measures. So Adrian Rafferty, aka Mr. Taxman, joins me live. Mr. Taxman, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. So that sounds like pretty good news.
Oh, it's great news. Happy New Year, Pete. What a great way to start the year, mate. To new tax season. We can't wait. You mentioned the $1,500 there for individuals with the low and middle income tax rebates. It's the last year we're going to get it, so it's probably the biggest refund. So we're really keen to get that cash because we've been struggling a lot over the last few months, haven't we?
Okay, we sure have, yeah. So more broadly speaking, I mean, different people are going to be able to claim different things, but what extras might or should people be looking for, given that, you know, in the course of the last 12 months, there was a portion of time that we spent at home?
Yeah, look, I guess the main thing is claim what you're entitled to. No matter what year, claim what you're entitled to, because the ATO will come cracking down at you. Now, we were in home for 6 months, and you mentioned maybe more, 12 months for a lot of people working from home. So the ATO is going to expect an increase in home office expenses. But if you've been using your car a lot over the last few years, but didn't use it much at all in the last 12 months, the ATO will also expect your car costs to come down. So don't just claim what you did last year and it'll be all fine, it'll be all swept under the barrel. The ATO are watching. They know, how things have been operating. So they expect home office expenses up, car expenses down. They actually expect also a lot of capital gains made earlier on this year as well, especially with cryptocurrency. People, when it was up high, they expected, so if you sold up high, they're expecting some capital gains as well. Okay,
so they are just a couple of red flags that the ATO will be looking for.
Oh, indeed, so what you've got to make sure with the regulator, you always do the right thing. And they're on top of it. They've got all their computer systems. They know exactly if you're claiming a lot more, not just against what you did last year, but people in your category as well. So if all of a sudden they see a spike in a deduction for you, well, they're going to probably ask you a please explain letter.
Okay, what are some of the things that people can claim just simply by working at home?
Well, I'm just looking across the room here now because I'm working from home right now, but your laptop, your computer, your internet, your stationery, you may have all your online meeting subscriptions. You may have paid for a bit of extra lighting because it's had so many online deductions each year. You may have bought a new shredder, a new printer. All of these things that all add up that you can claim. Now, you can be really lazy and just claim 80 cents per hour in relation to your home office expenses. But if you go through all of your expenses, you'll probably find you're probably losing yourself. You're probably getting an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a year in tax deduction.
Okay, Adrian Rafferty, Mr. Taxman, thank you for your time this morning. Some good pointers there for our viewers. Thanks, Adrian. Talk to you soon.